Hi everyone. So this is a screen recording of the webinar we had yesterday. Okay. So I'm going to start from the basics. If you're not in the recording yesterday, the things we used were Visual Studio Code. You need to download Visual Studio Code, get a GitHub account. It doesn't take that much time to get a GitHub account. I shared a link on the tutorial, but you can download a 3D model of your choice, anyone. Just make sure the size of the model is not too big so it doesn't increase load time on the web. So yeah, that's basically all you need for this tutorial. So now let's move on. So once you have your 3D model that I've shared to everyone, I need you to come over here. Let me move this. Okay. So now this is model viewer editor. The link is up here, modelviewer.dev/editor. So in this model viewer editor, we're going to bring in our 3D model, which is this new model I sent to everyone. So you click on this blue icon here. So remember what we're trying to do is visualize a model on the web and make it viewable in augmented reality through our phone as well. So you search for your snow.glb or whichever 3D model you have. So this is my snow.glb here, and my file is 2.5 MB. Not bad, but it can be better. It can be reduced more. So I open my snow.glb file on model viewer, and as you can see my snail already. My snail is animated and it looks very, very realistic. So the next part now, and as I mentioned earlier, um, model viewer editor or model viewer in general makes it easier for us, for people that are not well into coding. So you can bring your model here, make changes in the editor, and once you are done to generate the code for you, then you can use the Visual Studio Code, update it, or even just take the code like that and take it to GitHub and test your demo website. Okay, so the first thing we did yesterday after uploading our model is go to this pen icon here. So you're going to choose an environmental image for our model. So currently it's on neutral, but you can choose whichever one is more comfortable for you. Personally, I like legacy, so I'm going with legacy. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see here, but there's been an increase of light on the model. I can increase the exposure so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so you can see my snail now is very, very bright. If I reduce the exposure, you can see the snail more. So let me put that. So then you can mess around with shadow intensity as well. If you want the shadow to be very thick or not. I'm okay with my shadow intensity being at 1. Then use environmental skybox. It's basically like showing the environmental image you added in the background. But usually that's not necessary, so I'm going to turn mine off. If you want to leave yours on, no problem. Then here, these the animations. The animations is to specify if you want the animation of the 3D model to play or not. So now you can see the checkbox is checked, which is play. If I switch it off, the animation stops playing. So like it's still 3D model now. You can choose which duration you want it to stop playing at, or you can just simply play your animation again to move on. And now another important step is adding hotspots. So to add hotspots are basically like descriptions for our 3D model. So for one for description, two for being a particular location on that model. So I'm going to add two hotspots. One for the shell. So you click on the button of the hotspot, then click on the body of the model where exactly you want to add the hotspot. To add hotspot, you click on the blue button here for the hotspot. Then you click on any part of the model. So I'm going to click on the shell, then snail into the text box, snail shell. So let's add one more on the body, snail, snail body. Okay. So the use case of an hotspot, as I said, is to for description of any part of the body to easily find a part of the model. So if I click on the hotspot, it can take me to that exact position in the model. And yeah, for price tags as well. So let's say for this new show, let's say for the furniture, I can say maybe okay, this part is 45,000 naira or 45 million or whichever one. But so let me go back and just um, snail snail shell. Okay, so that was all about hotspots. So now the next thing is to come to this camera icon here. So for this camera icon, we're going to set the how we want the camera to be viewed once the model has finished loading. So basically, do you want when the user opens your website, the model loads like this, or from this angle, or from the top, or from the bottom, whichever location you want it to load from. So I think this looks perfect for me. Let me zoom it in. Yeah, this is okay for me. So once you've chosen your ideal location or frame, then you save current as initial. So this will automatically update in the code to just update and save that location. So anytime anyone accesses your website, it will load from this location. So another tip is this auto rotate button. So the auto rotate button is to make your model auto rotate as the name suggests. So let me turn off the animation so you can see the use case perfectly. But switch off, you can see my model auto rotating on its own, just moving around. So this is useful for let's say the furniture as well. But since this is new model, we won't need that. The animation is way better for us than auto rotate. Although the two can function at the same time, but yeah, we don't need it for this. So save current as initial. Let's say this is my location. Save current as initial. Then we're done. Model viewer. So okay, this is just an extra tip. So sometimes you may want to change color, or change material. Although this will not affect in your code, but this is just like to see how it's going to look like when you are going to finally code it by yourself. So I can come to base color over here and I can choose different colors for the body. If it's something that requires you changing color, you can change color to see how it looks like. If not, you can change materials themselves. So you can come here, this is the material that came with the snail. I can remove the material to view the snail in white. I can choose an image on my laptop to view the snail form. So let me find an image on my system here. Yeah. So once you get an image, you can click on that image and it applies to the body of the model. Obviously, this is how a snail looks like. I'm just giving an example in case you need to code like maybe for to add different materials to an object. You can just check it to see how it will look like first before writing the code. So let's go back to our original snail model, which looks very realistic. So once we're done with that, we download our scene. Yeah, so just download the scene, it downloads everything for you, the model, the environment image you added, the code and everything. So download, come back. So once you've downloaded your scene, So now it's time to go into Visual Studio Code. So the first thing before we go into Visual Studio Code is to unzip the file that Model VR downloaded for us. So mine is called Model 3. Downloaded it out at this point. But yeah, so just unzip your file. Let me just click on this extractor. For those using Mac as well, unzip, just right click, open with archived utility to unzip. So yeah, we have our folder here. So yeah, so these are the files that ModelVia generated for us for our augmented reality. So we have the script.js, style.css, AR and prompt images, index HTML file, a text document, an image of our snail, and our snail.glb model, which we already have. So now let's open Visual Studio Code. Okay, in my Visual Studio Code, I already have something open already, but we can open a new window. So go to File, New Window. We can close the former window. Yeah, so let's work with our new window. So now the first thing is we're going to open our folder in VS Code. You can see this option here, Open Folder. So click on Open Folder, then look for your folder on your system. So here's my folder here. So it's best, let me rename it because I don't like when folders have space. It can cause issues sometimes. So I already have something common. Let me move limit model then. Okay, so I'll select that folder and just give it some time. Though mine is slow because I'm screen recording at the same time. But yeah, so you can see all my files here in Visual Studio Code. So you can click on any one of them to view them. So these are our index.html file. As you can see the code is not even much. So this is the code that Model VR generated for us for product visualization and augmented reality. So now we're going to view our project locally on our system. Not online this time. We want to view it locally on our system through Visual Studio Code. So the first thing we're going to do is download Live Server. So to download Live Server, I need you to come to this extension icon here and search for Live Server. Or you can just type Live. So once you type Live, you find Live Server for you. So I already have Live Server installed, so I'm not going to install it. Yeah, and I'm not connected to the internet right now. Let me see if I can connect quickly. Okay, having a bit of a network issue. So just as I said, click on live. When you click on live, you see the first thing that will pop up is live server. Install live server. So as soon as you install live server, let's click back on our explorer so you can see our codes right beside. So yeah, you can open each one. You can open the JavaScript code. This is the JavaScript code. So yeah, you need a basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to move on in this class. So this is the CSS code to design each object we have created. So once you have your live server installed, the next part is to come down here and go live. So this go live is going to open our website locally on our web browser in our system. So once you go live, you can view your model locally on your system. So this is my new model here. Hopefully you guys can see yours as well. These are my hotspots attached to the model. So now we cannot test it in augmented reality because laptops are not AR enabled. So another thing you can do in Visual Studio Code is you can edit your code. So let's say I go back to my Visual Studio Code now and I change this from shell to, let me just say new. Control save it, then come back here. As you can see, it has updated to just new. Let me put back my shell. Control save it, come back. As you can see, it is now snail shell again. So you can keep making changes if you want in the Visual Studio Code because you can't do that anymore in Model View after you've downloaded this scene. So, so for now, I'm not going to make any change. I'm okay with everything Model View has provided me. Everything is fine. So now it's time to host our platform on GitHub so we can test what we've done. So now, okay. So everyone should open GitHub and log in on their platform. Okay, so regardless of what your GitHub looks like when you open it, don't worry. Just all you just need to know is as long as you have this icon here at the side, because that's what we're going to make use of. So once you've opened GitHub, you need to click on this plus icon here, new repository. So you click on that icon. So we're going to create a repository and let's name it whatever we want. I'm going to name my snail space Kodusami, 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 Kodusami. Have issues. Just if it's one straight name, you can write a description if you have any other. Maybe this is I might type into further. This is an AR demo. So let's leave about in public, then check this box to add a README file. So that will be all to create a repository over here. So now we'll create that repository. So now this is repository is like a folder where we're going to house all our files for the project. So these are our repository. As you can see, my username, the name of the repository is stored in the main account. Let's just call it main account stored in the main. So now what I'm going to do is add all the files that model viewer generated for us for our code. So upload files. So now click on choose your files and select. Okay, we'll go to your folder and Control A to select all of them, or Command A if you are using Mac. So it has selected everything. Then now open. So let's wait for everything to finish uploading. So we can commit. Okay, so everything has finished uploading on my end. Hopefully it's the same for you as well. So now commit changes. So it's going to take a little bit of time, in fact, not even time at all. So it's done. So yeah, my code has finished committing. I have all my code here, index, style. You can update this code. You can click on your index to update the code anytime you want, or you can re-upload your index file and edit it from our own. So I can edit this file if I want to. If you ever want to edit your file at any point, edit. Then you can go online and learn about how to use GitHub. Okay, so we're back. Yeah. So now let's go back to our our folder. So click on snails or whatever you have to view the entire folder. So the next thing now is to upload it online through GitHub because not everybody has not everybody has time to be have to buy a domain name or server every time you want to upload something to the web. So you can just use GitHub or Netlify. But I think GitHub is more straightforward, so I'm going with GitHub this time. So once we are here, click on settings. Then from your settings to upload something on GitHub so you can view it online, you go to pages, GitHub pages. So you click on pages. So now we're here. So it's asking us the source. The source is deployed from our branch. So we'll leave this as it is. And in the branch, remember that our we created it in the main folder. So we're going to select main. If you used master, then you select master. But if you use main, click on main. Then we'll leave everything as it is to go to check from the root. So automatically, GitHub page is going to detect your index.html file. So you have to name your file index.html every time. So you detect that index.html file. Then we save our GitHub pages and we wait for about a minute or two so it can process everything and generate our link for us. Your link is going to be your GitHub username from GitHub and the name of your repository. You're going to see that soon enough. So yeah, we're basically done with everything. What I just do now is to see what we've created. Let's see what we've made. As I said, this is just a basic tutorial, basically. It is like to ease you into augmented reality. As we move on with this course, we'll keep moving in other and other, maybe from this model here. You can try Swift Excel, you can go to Unity. That's where the that's where the main work is. So move to Unity and all that. Let me go back to snails. Let me click on snails and refresh my page. So refresh your page, then scroll down. So after a minute or two, you can now scroll down. You see this environment here, GitHub pages, and it's active. So basically that means our website is active online through the GitHub pages. So you click on that GitHub pages, then view development. So view deployments. Like I keep calling it development. So view deployments. So now it's going to go to our link where our snail is. So this is my snail link. So now it is loading because we just put the model on the web. So yeah, mine has finished loading now. You can see my snail moving. So I can send this link now to anybody, to my friends, anybody, to potential investors and say, okay, so view what I've created from this link. So they can all come here and view this. And you can send this link on your phone too to view it on your mobile. So this is how it's going to look on your phone. If your phone is AR enabled, you can view it in your space as we talked about. So, so yeah, so that's basically all for this tutorial class. So to mention some final things at the end. So things you should make note of when you are putting models on the web, whether for just visualization or augmented reality. One is the size of the model, because the size of the model determines how fast the model is going to load. So in relation to learning how to, you have to learn a little bit of 3D skills to create models, to reduce vertices, polygons, and all that, to what's the word? Compress textures so they are not too big. So this new model, for instance, the total file size is 2.6 MB. Although if you have a very, very fast internet, it won't look big, but not everybody has a very, very fast internet. So it will even be better if you can reduce the size more to maybe like kilobytes. So I have some models that are in kilobyte, like 500 KB and all that. But yeah, if 2.6 MB is the lowest you can go, not a problem. You can just specify that. And also, since we're hosting through GitHub, our code may not be as fast as we want it. Basically, being that it's GitHub. But if you host it on a .com server, set a domain name, create CDNs, it will load way faster that way. And a good thing about model viewer is once your model loads once, that is all you need. Once it loads once, it won't load again. So like it will load again, but it won't load again. So if I refresh my page now, after it has loaded once, it will see it loads now. It loads faster now because it has loaded already. There is a function in model viewer. So yeah, now we are officially done with the code with the tutorial. You can view what you've done on your phone, share it to your friends and all that. So with the remaining time, I'm going to show what I've achieved with model viewer. So be like say the person that is teaching you know sabi wetin they do or something. So as people in the previous class know, this is what I created with model viewer. It is an e-commerce platform, model visualization platform, and it is also augmented reality enabled. So if you have an augmented reality device, you can view each model on this platform on your device. So it was majorly built with model viewer. So these are the use cases I have: a bike, dress, car, a class, shoe. The last three are for education. So let me open the dress one. So you see what I'm talking about. So I can't show you the augmented reality part here because I'm using my system. But on your phone, you can test every one of them with augmented reality. So this is the dress. So I can choose different materials we talked about earlier on the dress. So I can change them. I can export the dress finally to send it to the designer. And in augmented reality as well, you can still change the dress function in augmented reality as well. So next use case, one of my favorite use case as well is the education use case, which is this skeleton over here. So for this skeleton use case, I have the skeleton model. I have parts of the skeleton I would like to talk about. So these buttons here are hotspots. They may be wondering why my own hotspots by the side and not on the body. So I have hotspot by the body without text, and I have by the side. So you can make your hotspot by the side too. So I chose to make this one by the side. So once I click on the hotspot here, it moves me to that part of the model. So cranium, vertebra, tarsal, spine. You can move around. So yeah, so these are things you can do in model viewer. I'm running it on time, so I have to move forward. And as I said, you can view each and every one of them in the air. This glass model is a virtual try-on, although I can't try it here because you can only try it on Insta, so you can go on Insta and try that. Remind me to send a link to the website if you want to try it out. So this is the model we used today in class. So as I said, this is an educational use case. So you give a story about the model by the side,